On today's episode, we're talking electronic music and the importance of a thorough resume. You're on the Soundbeat. Miklos Rozsa had long considered using electronic music in a film. He got his chance when director Alfred Hitchcock and producer David O. Selznick approached him about scoring 1945's Spellbound. Wanting to add an atmospheric, contemplative air to the piece, he settled on the theremin. Here's a quote from Dr. Samuel Hoffman. "I put down theremin on my card without thinking much about it. When Miklos Rozsa thought of using a theremin in his score for Spellbound, he called the union to see if any players were available. I was the only one listed at that time who could read music." Before Rozsa's call, Hoffman was a practicing podiatrist in the Hollywood area. After the score won an Oscar, Hoffman and the theremin would feature in films like The Day the Earth Stood Still, It Came from Outer Space, and more. See the whole list right now at soundbeat.org. Soundbeat is produced at the Belfer Audio Archive, Syracuse University Libraries. I'm Brett Barry.
Hey y'all, I'm Anna Lamare. KPFT has been a supporter of my music since day one, and I'm grateful to be a part of this family. Thank you for helping spread independent local music. Support community radio. And this is 90.1 KPFT Houston.
This is KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM and FM HD1.
Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Firm. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. For more information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, you can find it at the website, parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
And welcome to the Prison Show. Tonight, it's Friday the 13th. I can't stand that day. Anyway, so it's that day, yes. And we're here. Linda is off tonight. David gave her what did you give her, David?
A lay-in.
Anyway, she's not here today, but we do have a special guest in the studio, Clinton Young of the Clinton Lee Young Foundation. He is in the studio with us tonight. So we're going to be chit-chatting with him throughout the show. And tonight, David has lined up Fancy D. She is now an attorney, and she is a member of the death penalty abolition movement, the Texas death penalty abolition movement. Roshan Evans, haven't seen him in a long time. He is going to be on with Pure Justice organizing director and author. Irma Barbie, the Chief Executive Officer of Wings Ministry, and of course, Abraham Bonowitz, the co-director founder at Death Penalty Action. We've got a full show for you tonight, and of course, we've been chit-chatting before the show, talking about how wonderful TDC is, how wonderful the food is. Yes, Clinton was reminiscing about
like the pancakes. Huh?
the pancakes, how delicious the pancakes were. He misses them. I know, he's like, hell no, don't say that.
Still can't eat pancakes.
I've heard that from a few people. Can't eat pancakes to this day.
I can't eat peanut butter.
Can't eat peanut butter either.
No, that's a lot of people get out. They still like peanut butter, but like every time I seen a peanut butter jelly sandwich at a hotel, and I was like, man, I was just. Ugh.
Yeah, but if I eat pancakes, I got to put peanut butter on them.
Yeah, I did that. I did that one time. I came home and I was just like, man, this bring back too many memories. Hell no.
Hell no. And we were talking about how wonderful the diabetic diet is. Any kind of gluten-free they have going on at TDC. The director there has been so helpful to me. So very helpful. Anyway, we have a lot of stuff going on tonight. So let's get right into it with Fancy D, the attorney at law and member of Gloria's, the Texas death penalty abolition movement. How are you doing, Fancy? And congratulations on being an attorney.
Hi, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back on the show.
So what do you have for us this evening?
So I've just got a few quick updates just to, check in and let everybody know. So right now, we wanted to talk about first a short report on Willie Terry Washington's recent evidentiary hearing that happened at a federal court in Houston. At this point, his attorneys, they gave an ineffective assistance of counsel and violated his Batson rights. And, this has to do with, jury discrimination. And the prosecutor, committed prosecutorial misconduct as well by violating Batson. And so at this point, Terry's attorneys say the judge won't rule on this violation until later this year or early next year. However, he could get a new trial based on the Batson violation. And hopefully be able to present some new evidence to prove this ineffective assistance of counsel. This is happening in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and, of course, we want a new trial. But, these attorneys, they didn't even know, what mitigation was. So at the Shape Center, they did sign a card for Terry and, sign some names and just really wishing him the best outcome there.
So he does go by Terry, correct?
Yes, Terry. That's the nickname.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then also we wanted to lift up Arthur Burton, who was executed on August 7th. So just, sending love to his family and his loved ones. That was Texas's 589th execution. It's just really sick. And, with 5 more already scheduled, the state is getting close to 600, which is just really awful. So, we're lifting them up. And we did want to note that there are executions scheduled. Travis on the 24th. That one is coming up. And then as well on October 1st, Garcia Glenn White. So on that day, since it falls on a Tuesday, the monthly meeting for the Texas death penalty abolition movement is going to be postponed until the 2nd, October 2nd, Wednesday. And we just encourage people listening to please join the protest that day. They can also join the protest on, I believe, the Prison Show's Facebook page. That will be live streamed. So we just want to encourage people to join that and protest as well. In addition, we had an update from Bob Uzzle, who gave us a report about a gentleman named Clifford Fugit, who is the son of Charles Milton, who was executed in 1985. At that time, Clifford was a child and has spent his life trying to locate his father's grave. And so finally, this year, after all that time, he did locate the grave of his father. And as a birthday gift to himself, he got a headstone made for his dad's grave.
Aww.
So, yeah. And so next Wednesday, September 18th, there's a group of us going. They're going to have a ceremony to lay that headstone down. And so, a group will be going. Gloria will be going. So if anyone is interested in joining that, please reach out and connect with Gloria to go out there. It will be in Huntsville at 10 a.m. And the address is 101 Martin Luther King Drive. And so we just really want to emphasize with this as well that, when someone is executed, it affects generations. Clifford was a child when this happened, and, here he is now, coming to being able to finally lay this headstone down. So, this is something that affects generations, and that's part of the reason that we're working so hard to abolish it.
Now, what is the gentleman's name that was executed?
The gentleman who was executed was Charles Milton, and that execution was back in 1985.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one has been a long time coming. So yeah, we just want to invite others to come and join that as well. In addition, we wanted to also discuss some of the lobbying to the legislature that definitely will be coming up in this next session. I believe they're going to be starting in mid-January, but bills aren't going to really come up in committees until March or even April. So we're just really in a planning phase right now, getting ready to make a trip or two, down to the Capitol in Austin, and, really be prepared to speak on issues, directly related to abolition of the death penalty. We want to lobby on things related to the law of parties, as well as raising the age of eligibility for a death sentence to only those over 21 years of age at the time of a crime. And then also issues related to PTSD and really advocating for no execution of veterans or any person with PTSD or a mental illness. Of course, that is a non-exhaustive list. So again, inviting folks to come and join us with that as we do that lobbying and get, prepared to, keep this advocacy up into the next legislative session as well.
Absolutely. It's very important to keep that. And I think the bills start getting their numbers in November sometime, so people can start following those.
Absolutely, yes. No, that would be great. In addition, we did want to also mention and lift up our brother, Kenneth Foster. As some of the folks listening may know, his sentence was commuted to life back in 2007 on his execution day. So he's been doing a life sentence and working towards, getting paroled. Unfortunately, he was in a situation where he had to defend himself against another prisoner, and that prisoner died. And so now Kenneth has been charged again with capital murder, and he has a trial date coming up in November. We don't have a date yet for that announced, but we wanted to bring this to everyone's attention, that he is having a trial set for November in Bowie County, so up there near that Texas-Arkansas border. So, of course, we've been working with his wife, CJ Foster, to get more information about, any pretrial events, jury selection, and that sort of thing. And so we just, want to lift that up and make it known that, we're fighting for him, and, we're going to support CJ and, go up there, go out, watch the hearing, and, just make it really clear to that DA that, there are people here fighting for Kenneth as well. So I did want to mention that too.
Absolutely. And please keep us updated so we can share that on the Prison Show's Facebook and other Facebooks to get the word out.
Absolutely. Yes, we'll do that. Thank you. A couple more things here. I do want to mention that at the next meeting, which will be on October 2nd, one of our comrades and members, Angie, is going to be sharing a book by Stephen Nelson, which is called Soul Within My Soul. And she's going to be leading a book discussion about that. So his date is February 5th. I believe, 2025. Let me double check here. We just want to invite people to come out to that meeting as well, and we're hoping that his wife will also be at that meeting to speak about him and his book in this case. So that should be a good meeting coming up. And then finally, we do want to discuss that the annual Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement march, usually it has been held in Austin. However, this year, a group of organizers got together and decided to hold a rally in Houston instead this year. So they're going to have a rally on October 19th at 1 p.m. At the Shape Center, and it will be, outside in the park at the gazebo. And this really is going to be an event to honor the families of those on death row, either executed or still alive. And we'd like to invite their family members to speak as well. So we really wanted to speak out to anyone on death row right now listening. If you would like us to honor, your families, please get in touch with us at the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement so that we can contact them and get in touch with them and, invite them to speak or attend the event. The P.O. box. Sorry, go ahead.
Is this in place of the march, or is this in addition to?
This is in place of. So this is what the organizers have decided to do as the march this year, and just hold this event in Houston. Okay, great. And I'm sorry for interrupting. What's that P.O. box? That P.O. box number is P.O. Box 3454, and it's Houston, Texas 77253. Reach out to us. We'd love to have as many, family members, parents, siblings, cousins, children, like anyone, who, has a loved one on death row. We'd really like to honor them, for their steadfastness and really, lift up these stories. So please do reach out if that's something you'd be interested in. And in addition, I'll go ahead and I'll share Gloria's phone number for anyone who would like to go next Wednesday to the laying of the headstone. You can reach Gloria at 713-503-2633. So please feel free to reach out to her if you'd like to attend the laying of the headstone. And again, you can find us on Facebook. We are the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement. So make sure to put THE at the beginning. You can also find us on Instagram at Texas Death Penalty. It's at TX Death Penalty. So that's the Instagram handle. And again, we just want to encourage people to, come out and support. And, we give our thanks and gratitude to everyone who is, continuing to fight, continuing to advocate for all of our sisters and brothers on death row and, our incarcerated family members. We really care about y'all. We love y'all, and we're fighting to get everyone free. So that's what I have for y'all today.
Just to repeat it, it's P.O. Box 3454, Houston, Texas 77253. Is that correct? I just wanted to...
That's right.
Okay. And Gloria's phone number, everybody has a pen, right? 713-503-2633.
That's it. Thank you so much, Fanny.
Thank you, Fancy. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm waiting on my bar exam results. Fingers up, prayers up. I get my bar pass, and actually today I received word from the Michigan State Bar that I've passed character and fitness, and I've been recommended to the bar.
Awesome.
So I'm one step closer.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend.
All right. You too. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now that I've messed up the schedule, I will have to go to Roshan. Hey, Roshan.
Yo, how you doing?
Doing good. Long time no hear.
I know. It's great to be back.
It's great to have you. So what do you have for us this evening?
Well, I was just listening to the previous caller, and we hadn't been on a prison show in a while. So we wanted to go ahead and give you some updates on what we're working, which technically goes hand in hand with the caller before me. So for the people who don't know who Pure Justice is, we are an organization that works to bring fairness and equity to the criminal justice system, as well as create economic opportunities for marginalized groups. We have 3 pillars we work around, which is criminal justice reform, economic justice reform, and racial justice reform. For the last 2 years, we've been working a campaign. We have quite a few partners. The idea is to bring as many community organizations around Harris County working criminal justice reform together on a campaign called RISE. RISE is an acronym, and that acronym stands for Reimagining Safety for Everyone, which is a big topic, been a big topic for the last couple of years around people's campaigns. The mayors just ran on, safety. But the deal with safety is it looks so different from person to person, So, like, with some people, safety will actually look like more law enforcement, expanding the jails, expanding courts, putting more money to expand the DA's office, to address backlogs, so on and so forth. But nobody's actually trying to address, or let me take that nobody back. A lot of people, or people with the power, a lot of them not trying to address root cause issues And in order to create real safe spaces, safe communities, safe neighborhoods, you know, if we really want to protect our children and our elders, we have to actually put money where it counts, and that's addressing health care, mental health, and drug treatment, education, housing, climate change, so on and so forth. But the goal is no more money for law enforcement. Like, in the county, for the county's budget, we're spending 65.8% of the overall budget in public safety, which means courts, jails, fire, and less than 34 point, what is it, like 3% on things that we actually need to survive, like the house, healthcare, and education, mental health, which is like, so we spending most of the county's budget on preying on people with the largest needs instead of putting money to address the largest needs of the people. And then in the city's budget, we're spending over half of that budget in the same space: public safety, law enforcement, you know, courts, jails, instead of putting the money into the things people need to survive. So the less money they put into the things that people actually need to survive make larger spaces of vulnerable people that is literally moving out of survival. And instead of addressing the needs of the people, what we are doing is incarcerating them because of what they need that we blackballed them from actually getting. So with RISE, it has 3 different demands. The first demand is to freeze the HPD's budget. HPD budget is over $1.6 billion with a B. And that's just one agency. Yeah, right.
I didn't even know that.
Right. And that's just HPD. That has nothing to do with the constables, the sheriffs, the FBI, you know, like no other agency. This is just HPD alone. They have over $1.6 billion.
Yeah, we should be the safest city.
Right. The second demand is to remove law enforcement, HPD particularly, out of traffic stops, because they are the number one agency that pull people over. And in traffic stops, the number one tools, or the greatest tool that is used for racial profiling, that funnel people back and forth to prison.
Yep.
The third demand of RISE, which is reimagining safety for everybody, is to shut down a program called ShotSpotter. They changed the name to Sound Thinking Out. They did, at the end of June, say that they would not be renewing the contract of ShotSpotter, which is amazing. A lot of people don't even know what ShotSpotter is, have no idea it's in their communities, but
I don't know what it is.
If you shoot off a gun, there's like microphones that detect where it's at and reports to the police.
Oh, I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, it became famous in like Oakland or Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Now everybody's shutting down ShotSpotter too, but it's so many problems with ShotSpotter. So one, you know, like all 3 of these, like, so one, if we're gonna again create safe spaces or reimagine what safety looks like, we have to get ahead of people doing things outside the law. So if you want to get ahead of people doing things outside the law, that's actually addressing the need or the reason or purpose why people are doing things outside the law. You know, people ain't just, you know, stealing for no reason. Won't nobody give them a job, you know, or they trying to secure housing or a room or take care of a family. But ShotSpotter, when shots go off, it's done. It's already done already. You know, there is no prevention in that. It's so many sounds that replicate gunfire, which is one of the problems with ShotSpotter, like cars backfiring, fireworks around the holidays, people who got surround sounds that listen to the TV too loud. And what it does is every time that shot spotter goes off, it dispatches HPD to that geographic location, and anybody in a 500 feet radius can be legally stopped and frisked that has been deemed unconstitutional back around like 2010. Stop and frisk was deemed unconstitutional because the people that they was preying on, once again, was black, brown, minorities, and poor people. ShotSpotter just reopened the door for stop and frisk. So anytime, if I'm listening to my TV with my surround sounds on and Clint Eastwood or, Tommy from Power get to shooting his gun and my surround sounds go off and law enforcement is dispatched and you have James on the block because he don't have a vehicle walking to the store to get his daughter some chips and a juice for her school lunch tomorrow, but yet, have a bag of marijuana on him or a weapon to make sure he's safe to protect himself, and he gets stopped and frisked because my TV was too loud. It's a violation of Lil James' rights. Because one, in order to harass somebody, they have to be somebody that you believe was in the process of committing a crime. Same thing, you pull people overboard, or, it's something that you caught illegal happening. But when you can just check anybody in a 500-mile radius, it's like everybody looks suspect. Everybody's suspect. They only put ShotSpotter up in poor neighborhoods. So anybody up and down the block where shots have went off, they checking everybody. And we want to get that shut down. They are ending that contract. But it have not ended yet. The ShotSpotters are still up. But they should be getting pulled down hopefully soon.
So they're actually up?
Yeah, they're up. And just to add to ShotSpotter, if they can hear gunfire, you know what else they listen to? People conversations. They have cameras on them where they can actually see, so they can see and hear, which is like literally an illegal search and seizure. And when you go back and think about everything that is denied of people, that have been sucked into the system, have been born into particular families, have been born with certain shades of color, or just poor in general. Everything that's denied to these people, what they sit around and think about when they are stressed on trying to figure out how to secure housing or how to get food or how to feed their family or how to put a Christmas gift under the tree or give somebody a birthday present or put gas in the car to make it to work for the rest of the week. They sitting up here planning on how to figure out how to get what they need to survive. And sometimes the things that they may be talking about may actually be outside the law. But nobody should be forced to live in survival mode. Like, nobody should be forced to live in survival mode. So if you got $3.5 million to put up a device in a community that they don't know exists, then why can't we use that same $3.5 million to build a grocery store in that grocery desert to address that food insecurity? And that's the problem.
Yeah, going to meet my attorneys today. I was happened to be driving through the north side, and the area I drove through to get there. There's a lot of other things they could be spending that money on besides ShotSpotter.
Of course, it's like we're spending way too much money to prey on people that, once again, is trying to figure out, how do I live? How do I survive?
How is this not like common knowledge?
I think that a lot of people I do think some people know, But I also think a lot of people, you know, since we all come from different spaces, different places, born into particular families, I really do think that a lot of people just don't get it until, you know, they actually take the time to talk to somebody who actually understands.
Well, I do know that, you know, I live in the Woodlands, and of course they don't have those there that I know of, but I can guarantee you the people that live there, if they would put this type of device up and they can see what, you know, police can see what they're doing, hear what they're doing, I can guarantee you there would be an uproar.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. And, you know, and that's why they chose the communities that they wanted ShotSpotter in very well. And they kept it very quiet. And every last community that ShotSpotter is in, when I say it's a poor community, it's poor. So they spending millions of dollars to spy on poor people instead of trying to figure out how do we actually help these people that was born into generational poverty and help uplift them out of a space that they've been trying to figure out desperately how to get out of.
Right. I do know that a lot of people are focused on gun violence. So I could understand why some people would, but if you're going to put it up, I mean, gun violence that happens in schools, that happens not just in the poorer communities.
Mm-hmm. You know, none of us, nobody likes gun violence. Nobody want to be attacked, you know, by somebody that has a firearm. But, when you come from my community, and I'm not making an excuse for everybody, okay, because people do things, you know, and you have that question why did you just do that? But coming from where I come from, you know, most of the people that is doing things outside the law is literally doing things outside the law for the sole purpose of survival. So when you got Roshan, and I'm using myself as an example, running up and down the block selling dope, it's not because I just want to sell dope. It's because, you know, when I'm trying to apply for a job, nobody want to give me the opportunity. You got Roshan.
Unfortunately, Roshan, we have to wrap it up, but I do want people to have your address. Where can they write to you?
Okay. You can write to Pure Justice at 5330 West 34th Street, Suite 305. That's Houston, Texas, 77092. You can also call the office at 713-370-7490. That's 713-370-7490. And you can type in Pure Justice on any social media platform, and you will see the organization pop up, Pure Justice.
Well, thank you, Roshan. You've enlightened me to a few things, and I'm glad you came on the show, and hopefully you'll be back again soon.
Of course. Send me the invite, and I'll be glad to come back.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You have a great weekend.
You as well, and good talking to you all, and thank you, and you all have an amazing weekend, too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Now we're going to get to Irma. Irma, the one that I messed up on the schedule. I apologize, Irma. You are
not a problem.
You're the Chief Executive Officer for Wings Ministry. Why don't you explain to us what Wings Ministry is?
Absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me. Wings Ministries is a nonprofit organization. We're a 501c3 that works with women at risk. We basically go into facilities, transitional housing, jail units, and bring our work readiness and life skills training program to the women. It's an 8-week program. We cover various topics that we hope will help them as they step back into society, do the hard work of reentry. A lot of the women that we work with are in recovery, residential recovery centers. So we help them to prepare, to get back into their families, their neighborhoods, the workforce. It's a faith-based program, so a lot of biblical principles. We, let them know, hey, we're coming from this, faith perspective, and you're gonna hear about Jesus. You're gonna hear, with scriptures, and it's not a requirement to be a believer in God. It's not a requirement to be a Christian to get something out of our program. It's just something that we're going to come in that perspective, And so we've been doing that since 2012 and have just been able to work with thousands of women since then, just helping them really to prepare and envision a different future. I'm listening to Rashawn, and he's saying a lot of things that are very true about, there's survival that has to happen. There's, pressures, circumstances, consequences of life. And we hope that through our program, we're able to help them on the other side of, the things that got them to where they ended up, in that time where they had to isolate from society and, hopefully use that time to prepare and do something different, when they step out of that. So, that's who we are. That's what we do. Like I said, we've been doing it since 2012, started at Harris County Jail and then expanded to Plain State Jail. We still teach at Plain State. Thankfully, after a little break, we teach in several, like I said, transitional houses in the Houston area. And then also in residential recovery centers. Santa Maria Hostel is one of the ones where we work with some of their programs and just bring our curriculum to them. We're about 40 volunteers strong, going into 9 different locations and just doing our best, just to give women hope for a different future and hopefully affecting their communities in a positive way and really believing that they can overcome a lot of the obstacles that they're going to face and step into a different life.
Well, we definitely have been around people with obstacles. Clinton Young here is one of them. Coming out of prison or jail, there's a ton of obstacles. So your programs, what's some of the programs that you teach?
So we're different. We have 8 different modules. We start basically with a very basic kind of like, let's address some of the thinking, some of the mindset, that may have caused you to make some decisions to, that have brought you to this place, And so we start with a module called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. We really address some of the, like I said, the thought processes, the cycle between, what we're thinking, which leads to behaviors, which leads to results, and really address that and kind of pull that apart a little bit. We want to start helping them to let go of some of those old ways of thinking and really grasp a new way of thinking that is centered on, the fact that they can, if they do the hard work, if they envision that new future, if they work towards it, they can achieve that. So we start pretty basic, and then we get very practical. We start our modules on becoming job ready, basically. So we're going to do everything from applications to resumes to making those first impressions. We talk about resources they can tap into that will help them get from point A to point B while they begin to, take those steps to become self-sufficient. And so we go over a lot of those resources, everything like employment agencies, housing, just things that can help them to, get on their feet and take those first few steps. We practice interview questions. Our philosophy on those interview questions is that if they can be confident in answering questions, these are tough. These are questions that are going to draw out why are there these giant gaps in your employment history? What can you tell me about that? And so we teach them how to answer those questions. We call it kind of a two-part answer where you say, hey, I was in a situation that I had to address some issues. I've done that, and now I'm ready to dedicate myself to the workforce, dedicate myself to my career or whatever it is that they're wanting to achieve. And so, we address several, the most common questions they're going to run into. I mean, we do everything from how they're going to walk into that room, how they're going to, have that confidence, the eye contact, the handshake, just presenting themselves with confidence. And we believe that building that confidence and practicing those questions is actually, creating like belief that, hey, I really do have something to offer. I really do have something to bring to the table. So it's going to pour into other areas of their life. And, that's really why we work so hard on those. We also do a budgeting module called Money Matters. A lot of the women we work with they've never learned how to, work with what they have and how they can make it stretch. How, what are the ways that we can not just begin to earn an income, but over time, how can I see this income grow? What can I do to, create a situation where I can either add to this income or I can stack my experience and I can, it's just, there's lots of different ways. We also want to encourage them to take the class, do the vocational training.
I'm sorry,
so on and
Irma,
so forth.
we have to wrap it up, but can I get an address where they can write you?
Yeah, absolutely. Our address is 809 West Dallas Street, Conroe, Texas, 77301. And I'm sorry, there's a number after Dallas Street. It's 3574. So it's 809 West Dallas Street, number 3574, Conroe, 77301.
Hey, this is Clinton. I wanted to ask you real quick. You primarily work with low risk offenders?
Yes. Yeah. When we're going into the units, it's usually offenders that are 3 to 6 months from release, so really a good time for us to work with them. And then, they are low risk offenders. Yes.
Okay, because I noticed my foundation is working to help somebody that has a capital life sentence on parole. And there's very few programs out there to help people that have aggravated crimes or, long sentences, right? And that's why I was inquiring, because people that are generally removed from society for 10, 20, 30, 40 years are the ones that are going to have the hardest time adapting upon release. But those are the class of people who have the least amount of programs available to them.
I completely agree. And we, over the last, couple of years or so, we've really worked hard to connect with where we become the bridge. We may come in and work with these women at this particular stage, but we have made connections with organizations that can offer help to those longer term.
I'm sorry, Irma. We have to get going, but we look forward to having you back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have Mr. Abe. Hi, Abe.
Hello. Can y'all hear me?
We can.
All right. Well, greetings, everybody, and thanks for having me on tonight. And thanks to Irma and Rashawn and Fancy, and also, Clinton is there. I always like to start my stuff because it's such a slew of bad news, but with some good news. And the good news tonight, one of those two pieces. One is that Clinton Young is sitting there in her studio, and I'm just
Absolutely.
excited to get a chance to see you and hear your voice and just congratulate you on everything that you're up to. We're so many people watching and proud of what you're up to and the foundation's work, and we'd like to be in collaboration to the extent possible, especially once you get all clear of all your legal stuff, but even now too. So just, I want to take a moment and give you a chance to just tell us how you're doing, because we haven't heard anything much from you except for your last comment tonight. There you are. So,
I mean, just working. Right now I'm focused on Robert Robertson's case. As you know, he has a pending execution date. And so trying to raise awareness of that and reaching out to different people. Hopefully we can get some things are in the works, and so hopefully a friend of mine is going to be able to pull, tug on the right ear, so to speak. Because as you know, more often than not, it's about who you know. But
yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, right? I mean, a lot of people are shocked, of course, as anybody should be, about his situation and the fact that he's facing execution. And so I mean, that's really it. Besides working my life away, pursuing the American dream. Which I'm starting to think more and more about. Dang, that's what I've done the whole time I've been home. Primarily is work. I've been able to show I can be a productive citizen, but like there's so much I missed out on. There's so much more I could have done, should have done, would have done, and that's starting to kind of like sink home.
Sure. Well, Clinton, I want to invite you to connect with us, and we want to give you some time on our platform at Death Penalty Action to share more about that and more of the work of your foundation and whatever else you want to talk about. So let's connect later on.
Oh, yes, sir.
And I'm just grateful.
I'll be going to where are you at? Where are you out of?
Ohio.
You a little bit out of my territory, but I was going to say because I'll be going to speak at UT in 2 weeks, and so I plan on broadcasting that live on the different social media platforms. I had to speak to the law students and then speak to the mitigation class.
That's so important.
Oh yeah, them in the future, is in the fight, huh?
Yes. Well, we do. Let's talk. So, Danny, I'll get you connected with.
Yeah, I'll get her number for you because right now I'm in Facebook jail. I mentioned something about rehoming a puppy, right? That I just wanted like somebody to adopt, and that became that I was supposedly, according to Facebook, that violated their community standards. So I'm in Facebook jail right now, so I had to get your number from Danny.
Well, you know how to get out of jail and how to, and one of the things about you folks is you know how to wait too. And it's as painful as it can be. Anyway, Clinton, I'm going to get on with what I've got to share tonight, but I'm looking forward to speaking with you.
Yes, sir.
And the other bit of good news that I wanted to share with folks before we get into the terrible mess that we're in, and the shit show that is coming, pardon my French there, is,
whoopsie.
People keep talking about the Democrats have taken the death penalty out of the platform, but I want to say it's not what you say, it's what you do. And we saw it again this week in the debate when Kamala Harris challenged Donald Trump about his trying to execute and calling for the execution of 5 innocent people, the Central Park 5. And the point I want to make is just that we need to work really hard to get President Biden to commute all of the federal death sentences before he leaves office. Take that off of the plate for future President Harris. But the point is that she's using Donald Trump's support for the death penalty as a wedge against him. And I think that says everything we need to know about where the Democratic Party is today. And again, I'm not partisan, but I want to just flag that for those who are upset that the Democrats took the abolition of the death penalty out of their platform. Anyway, we have some real trouble here. Fancy talked about where kind of in a countdown to the 600th execution in Texas. Well, we are actually in a countdown to the 1600th execution in this country since the resumption of executions in 1977. We got 5 executions scheduled starting a week from tonight in South Carolina, and then that's on the 20th. And by the way, I put links to all of our petitions in the chat on the Facebook page with the video of tonight's program. So you can find them there, or you can find them at deathpenaltyaction.org, of course. Excuse me. But if all of these 5 executions go forward, then the last one on the 26th, Alan Miller will be the next gas suffocation execution, and also will be the 1600th. And nobody's a number. I want to make that clear. Nobody is a number, but the media and the world kind of pays attention to round numbers. That's why Fancy was talking about 600, and we got to look at that. We don't know who it's going to be, and it doesn't matter who it is. It's just the fact that there's 600 dead bodies in Texas, and the fact that there's 1,600 dead bodies almost in the United States, and none of it was necessary. And that's what we as abolitionists have to do, is lift up all of the problems with each one of these cases. And there is a problem. Even when they're guilty, even when it was horrific, there's still something wrong that society let somebody fall through the cracks that they would go and commit a crime like that. So just we're watching out for that. So that's the bad news. Some of the other bad news that is, and I'm going to talk more about that in a moment, but I want to note that just this week, Indiana, the state of Indiana, set its first execution date in over a decade, making it the 4th state this year to set a first execution date in over a decade. Idaho failed, but is trying to get it going again, but they had a guy on the gurney poking him full, and they couldn't, full of holes, and they couldn't get the IV going, so they had to send him back to his cell, but they tried. That was Idaho's first execution. Utah did carry out its first execution. South Carolina, as I mentioned a moment ago, a week from tonight, it's likely that they will have their first execution in over a decade. And now Indiana's going to try. Unlikely that I think it's a long shot with that guy and his mental illness and what's going to happen with his appeals, but they're trying, and that's the thing that we need to be watching out for. We do have, in these next few executions, so the 20th is Freddie Camille Owens in South Carolina. Then on the 24th, we have 2 executions, Travis Mullis in Texas. Doesn't look like anything's going to stop that. He is a volunteer and has waived his appeal, so he's ready to go. But also Marcellus Khalifa Williams in Missouri, just denied this week by a court. So it looks like he may be out on, except for the idea of executive clemency, maybe in that state. 3 weeks ago, he had a deal with the state to plead no contest and get sentenced to life without parole, and that deal was set. And then the Attorney General appealed that, and now he's set for execution again. So that might happen at the same time, same exact time as Travis Mullis on Tuesday the 24th, and then 10 a.m. on Thursday the 26th, Emmanuel Littlejohn in Oklahoma, unless Governor Stitt in Oklahoma grants him clemency, and he does have a recommendation for clemency. So, we need everybody calling Governor Stitt every weekday the next 2 weeks to make sure that he is hearing from a lot of people saying, please don't kill him. Because the other thing about Emmanuel Littlejohn, similar to, who is it? Freddie Owens in South Carolina, they're not the killer. The other co-defendant was the actual killer. And in Littlejohn's case, we know this because the witnesses said it was the taller, darker guy that did the shooting, and Emmanuel was the lighter, shorter guy. And in any case, he's got a recommendation for clemency. And if that happens, then we won't see the 1600th execution this month. It'll shift over to Texas and probably end up being Garcia White on October 1st. But we're going to see what happens. The other thing that we've got going with executive clemency in terms of the list upcoming is we're going to now really have to pour it on with Governor Abbott for Robert Robertson. As Clinton was just mentioning, Robert Robertson is screwed by the courts. They've denied his motion, and both his and Marcellus Williams in Missouri. These are Innocence Project cases. These are the big guns who are in on this, saying this guy's innocent, this should not happen, and who knows what's going to stop it? Because what we now know, what we've seen in these last couple of years, is you can have the best lawyers in the world, and the courts are screwed. And it doesn't matter. And executive clemency is practically non-existent because there's so many people without spines sitting in the governor's office that will not be merciful. And they're going to find out that, to get mercy, you got to give mercy. And, they're going to meet their maker one day, and we'll see what happens with that. So those are some of the issues that are coming up with the idea of clemency. Yes.
Oh, no. I was just looking at the time, and so I wanted to, in Florida, DeSantis signed that law in that a jury could give death with a 9-3 instead of all 12 jurors agreeing, at least just 9 jurors agreeing. And so when you see that, unfortunately, the extremes control the parties in this country because we have the two-party system, but it just shows that more and more people are turning against the death penalty, including conservatives.
Agreed.
Like in Midland, that's considered the Republican stronghold of Texas. Highest per capita donations for the Republican Party, et cetera, right?
That's why I don't live there.
Yeah. They had a guy named, we called him Rico. He was from Puerto Rico. So he was, not from the continental United States. He was Puerto Rican, was in Midland, supposedly got into an altercation at a house, and 2 or 3 teenagers was killed. The Midland County was seeking the death penalty, and the jury came back with life, which people were surprised because it was Midland County, and the whole, the argument about immigrant crime, et cetera, amongst conservatives, and here it is, and these were like young people that was killed, and they came back with life. So it just shows that, people are getting tired of the death penalty, basically, right?
Well, you're exactly right. And one of the things that...
And I'm sorry, Abe, but we got to wrap it up. We got to pay the bills.
Okay, quick shout out to Melissa Lucio, Rodney Reed, Stephen Nelson, and everybody out there. I'm Abe Bonowitz at Death Penalty Action. You can reach us at P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, Gatnt, New York 12075. And everybody hit those petitions hard. We got a 5 execution spree starting a week from tonight. And one last thing is that on Monday, I'll be with a group of folks in Connecticut confronting the company that makes the gas the respirator mask that they're using to conduct the gas suffocation executions. You'll see more from us on that on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and on our email. So watch for that. Clinton, get in touch, and thanks, yes, everybody. Sir. Have a great night.
You too.
You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
I was the 7th case.
All right. And we're back. We were talking, Clinton was saying that he has the distinct pleasure. I don't know. There's no pleasure.
But I guess distinct statistic
of being the only person since a death penalty was reinstated
that Midland County had sent to death row. I mean, it's weird because it's not that there's a lacking of capital murders in Midland. It's actually a large city, et cetera. You have a lot of people coming there. It's a corridor. I mean, there is violent crime, and but out of 9 jury trials since the death penalty was reinstated, I'm the only person that got sent to death row from Midland, right? And so it's just like, I mean, they've had cop killers and et cetera, but juries always came back with life, right? But
not you.
I guess with me, I don't know. People say I'm kind of a distinguished guy. So.
Hanging high.
Yeah, and I was the youngest defendant too to go to trial ever, right? So I mean, for that to face the death penalty, so there is that fact, So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to take that.
All right. So now we have Pam, who is on line 3. No, line 3. There we go.
I'm Pam right here. I don't know what line I'm on.
Well, you're on the air.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I've never met either of you in person, any of you on the show in person, but I always tune in when they're protesting on the nights of the executions and stuff, and watch that and pray for the person. And I live in Kansas City, so I'm not able to be there. I wish I could, to protest with them. And I just think so much of you guys that are out there doing that important work. And so proud of Clinton and his foundation. It's so great to see these foundations to help other people. And is Clinton, I haven't asked in a while, is he in the free and clear now to go on with his life and not have to worry about this anymore?
Unfortunately not. He's going to be given a little bit of an update in a few minutes. But now they're bringing him back to trial.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That is just ridiculous. Well, I wanted to get on here to do a shout out to my good friend Rudy Medrano. I have on Texas Death Row. I have known him for several years. I met his sister Christy on Facebook, whom passed away a few years ago, and now her daughter passed away. And so he's had kind of a rough go of it with the family in the last few years. So I just want to say I'm thinking about him, and I got his email today, and I send a big hug back to him, and I hope he's listening because he's a great guy. He's such a good friend, and I think so much of him, and I'm hoping he'll be home one of these days.
He is. He's a very nice guy, and I've heard nothing but good things about him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a great dad. He's got a son that was really good in, like, track and field, and I think I've known him so long, he was just like a little boy starting out, but I think now he's in college, if I remember right. I think that's what he told me, that he's now in college and doing really well. So he's, it's hard to parent from death row. I know other people who have had children, and been in their whole lives, and they do the best they can to be good parents, and he's one of them I can say has been a really, really good parent to his son. And so since I'm in Kansas City, I'm close to the Williams case, that I hope and pray that they don't execute him, because there's just so much. He had that deal made and everything, and then the Attorney General turned around and messed that all up for him, and it's so sad. I just don't understand it. I just hate the death penalty with all my being. I hope one of these days the United States will be rid of it for sure.
Absolutely. We're all hoping for that. I know Clinton's hoping for that, although they did take the death penalty off the table.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's good.
One case.
In one case. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 2 cases. But you know what? Right now, he's out here living.
Yeah, I know, and I'm so glad. I always enjoy seeing his Facebook posts of him being out, just living life. And then I always wonder, like I said, I haven't kept up with it, daily or anything like that, that I was just hoping that he was done with having to go back and relive any of that again. But we'll pray and hope that everything goes well on that end. I mean, he's obviously a great citizen. He works all the time.
Yeah, that's all I do.
He's always working. And, it's not like he's out doing anything that he's not supposed to. He's like a model citizen. So I think they should just leave him alone and let him go on with his life. And
Absolutely.
I 100% agree with you.
Oh, I bet you do. I bet you do.
But unfortunately, the system's designed that if you don't play ball with them or do what they want you to do, then they feel like they got to break you, right? And,
yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't say helped, but have supported and tried to do anything I can, especially for a guy that was on Pennsylvania's death row for 14 years. He's now been home about 7 years, but I did as much as I could for him in the 14 years before he came home. And I mean, it was just one thing right after another. It was so clear he didn't do it. And they just pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, for all those years. It took like 3 days to convict him and put him on death row, and took 25 years to get him home. So it just,
it's scary.
It's just
very scary.
It really is.
I think there's almost or right at 200 exonerations straight from death row across this country. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pam, we appreciate you calling, and we hope you call back.
Oh, no problem. Oh, I will. This was really nice, and you guys have a great weekend. And all the guys on Texas Death Row have a nice weekend too, as nice as you can have where you're at. And I'm always thinking about you.
Well, thank you, Pam. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, let's get to Captain Tom. Hey, Captain Tom.
Hello, Danny. How are you doing?
Living the dream. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I want to first say that this Sunday over in North 4th Street, we're having a memorial service for Richard Uzel, who was a board member for KPFT. He passed away. He was a Vietnam veteran. And I want to just say my condolences to the family. And also, I'm now going to do my shout-outs. This is Arkansas, Leroy, Adrian Cortez, J.B. Anderson, John M. Armstrong, Pete Kynes, Clarence Lee Bowman, Chris Ryan, Terry Morris, Daniel Valdez, Jamie Lovino, Stephen Hadaway, Paul Scales, Kerry Leggett, Emmett Dudley. We have Paul Johnson, Eugene Salazar, Jose Baez, Q Ridley, Cole White, Shannon Dougherty, Chad Brubaker, Thomas Harris, Samuel Harris, Robert Harris, Bobby Joe Harper, and Stephen Young. Also, you can continue to donate KPFT by going to kpft.org or call 713-526-5738 or text the word GIVE to 713-526-5738 and make sure you donate to The Prison Show. I'm Captain Tom. Everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you, Captain Tom.
Every time I hear his name, I always thought about that song.
Which one?
Was it? Oh, it's Major Tom, ain't it?
Major Tom.
Major Tom?
Yeah. Yes, I love them. Love them. So, one of my friends just got finished saying, Clinton is a cutie. She's probably going to text me in a second, go, what the hell? All right, now we have Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Plunski. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits, staying safe, and that there is a smile on your handsome face. As for me, well, I'm just in from work. I'm sitting on the couch. I have Daytona right here beside me, and I have just basically given her dinner. As you can hear, yeah, I think she wants a drink of water, so hold on for 1 minute, because I have to bring the water up to her. Yes, you heard me right. I have to bring the water up onto the couch so she can drink it. Yeah, she wants kind of a bit of extra attention when I come in from work, I think. Yeah, so she is drinking her water now. Yeah, as I said, I was just back in for work. Work was an okay day. It was quite busy, but other than that, it was good. And the day, like, the one thing is when it's busy, the day goes by so quick. 1 minute, it was like start time, and then it's like finish time. I'm like, wow. Other than that, yeah, everything is going good. It's getting cold here. It's actually getting really cold here. So I think the fall has definitely come in. Yeah, other than that, all is good. And yeah, so I let you go. Please know that you mean the world to me. And I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. So good night, sweet dreams, and stay safe. And to everybody at the Prison Show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
I love listening to her. She's awesome. All right, now we have Lydia.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Lydia. How you doing?
We're doing good here in the Rio Grande Valley. There's a nice cool breeze coming in from the east. It's nice. We're still up in the 90s though, but there's at least a breeze tonight. Just want to give a shout out to my son, Beto. I was glad that he called me. He hadn't called me in a few days, and got a call, so it was good to hear his voice. I just want to give my hellos to all the guys, to William Spear, Rudy, Juan, Eric, Blaine, Moises, Roderick, Mark, and just know that you're thought of and in our prayers. And Robert Robertson, just want to say hello to him too, and tell him that we're praying for him. And but that's about all, Danny. I'm sleepy tonight.
I can tell. I can tell you're sleepy.
Yeah, I've been not feeling too well lately, but I'm good. I just aches and pains, but they go away, come back. But I'm good. I just guess I'm tired tonight. Call me tomorrow, mijito. I love you and I miss you. Take care, and I hope you get the goodies that I got. Well, I'm sure you'll get them Monday. Okay, make sure you share the guys there. Okay, I love you. Yeah, he has to share. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I love you. You call me tomorrow, puppy. Love you. Good night. Good night, everyone. Say hi to Linda.
I sure will. Good night.
So, is she there tonight?
No, she took off tonight. She has a lay-in.
Okay. She has a lay-in. Yeah, she drives a long ways to be there.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you do too, Danny, don't you?
I just come from the Woodlands.
Yeah. Well, it's still a distance there in Houston.
Yeah, David comes from Shepherd, America.
Well, that's a ways there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you all drive home safely. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great weekend. So, before we get to another caller, Clinton, do you want to give a quick update?
Yeah, just Nothing significant, just waiting. I'll find out more details about how everything's going to go forward by the end of the month. Nothing significant, just a bunch of lawyers arguing still. You know how that is.
So they're not, there's nothing specific you can give us. You don't know when a trial date? Or...
No, not yet, because like I said, there's a lot of pending, everybody's still arguing and sorting everything, but the idea is that it'll take place in October.
October? Next month?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like I said, that's the idea that's kind of tossed around right now but there's still a lot of stuff that's being argued and, but it's a slow, like I said, it's a slow process.
And unfortunately, they really want you back.
Yeah, they, for some reason they don't like me.
Is it the same prosecutor that, it's not the original one, is it?
Oh, no. They all retired, got disbarred, and et cetera.
Oh, okay. Disbarred.
Well, one of them did.
Yeah.
No, it's not them. Unfortunately, I got to fight the big dogs. I got the Texas Attorney General's office.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and so they're kind of relentless.
They are relentless. They're the ones who scheduled Billy's execution date twice.
Yeah. Yeah, they, I don't know. It's kind of confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I was looking at, because I was having a conversation with somebody, so I started looking up who's getting the death penalty lately, and it's pretty much just cop killers, or alleged cop killers.
Alleged, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the percentage of people that's there and the ones that are facing it, like there was another guy recently, and actually the AG's office let him plea out to life, which, that's not really a great thing. But the ones that are generally, like, they're pursuing the death penalty on is just primarily just people with cop cases. Because same thing with juries coming back with death sentences. If you look at the people in recent time that went down there, a large percentage of them for cop cases.
Right.
So it seems like it's getting to the point to where, like, unless you do something really, really, really extreme and out of the ordinary, or, that the death penalty is just reserved for one class of victims, and that's police officers. It's just like, it kind of goes into the arbitrary nature of it, and it puts where they're saying, hey, one life is more important than another life. I don't say that to diminish the life of people that, put on the uniform and serve communities, et cetera, right? Because there are good ones that do it. Not all of them are, the bad people that most of us unfortunately encountered. I'm sure there's a couple of good ones out there, a couple of them somewhere. I think the cop from my school was like a good one, but I say that, being a smart ass, but it's got to the point to where the system is placing the value of one class of people's life above the other. And like I said, I'm against the death penalty, of course, but when you're sitting there saying, like, okay, well, we're automatically going to send you to death row if you kill a cop. Okay, so you're saying that individual's life is that much more valuable as a human being than some poor person, from the hood, or, a poor, or, I guess, an extreme, how do you say it? An ex-wife, because there was a guy that done something with his ex-wife, and et cetera, and he got life. And so it's like the way that it's being applied now, it's more arbitrary than ever.
Absolutely, I agree. Let's take Melissa, and then we're gonna ask you a few more questions.
Is for John Rothman at the East Texas Treatment Facility. I just wanted to tell you, babe, that I love you with all my heart, and I always will. Please call me whenever you hear this. I love you.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. And how about we get to Rosa? Hi, Rosa.
Hi, how are y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good, I'm blessed. I just wanted to give a shout out to a man that's really special and important to me. He's my sweetheart, David Gaitan. He's at the Ramsey unit. And just to let all the inmates of TDC know, the men and the women know, that they're in my prayers every night.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And
Yes.
I hope you have a great weekend. And it's always nice when someone shout outs to everyone across TDC. It's always nice for that.
Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And now, how about Manuela?
Hey guys, good evening to all. How you doing? This is my shout out to my sweet and precious husband, Robert Robertson, Polanski Unit, Death Watch. Good evening, baby. I do hope and pray that you are good and as well as you possibly can be at this time. And I do hope and pray that you can hear my shout out this time. As for me, I'm okay and I'm good and as well as possible, baby. You know what I mean? I want you to know that I'm thinking about you every single second of my days. You are the first thought of mine if I wake up in the morning, and you are the last one before I fall asleep. I want you to know that I love you with all of my heart forever and a day. And I will never stop loving you, no matter what, my love. I will never give up on you, and I will never give up hoping, believing, trusting and praying for our big, big miracle from heaven, from God's mighty hands. You are always on my mind, baby, always, especially at these times. I'm very shocked about everything. You know that, and I told you, but I never give up hope that everything went well and that we get our miracle, baby. Well, here everything is all right and fine. The weather is cold, and I was off of work today, and I did some special things at home. But in everything I do, I'm thinking about you, baby. And I love you with all of my heart, my love. And I can't wait to see you soon, and to talk to you, hear your voice, baby. I miss you so, so, so much. And I don't know how it could be without you. I love you. I love you. I love you, baby. And I will tell it to you in person very soon. We will see what's going on, but we will never give up on nothing. I will never give up on you, baby. Please stay strong. I stay strong for you. I try my best, but the most time I make it, because there is nothing I can do beside to give you hope and love and my prayers and everything I can. I do everything I can to cheer you up and to help you out with everything. Please don't worry, baby. I'm alright, and I want that you are alright too. So, baby, I want to say good night, sweet and blessed dreams. I do hope and pray that you will get your recreation and showers tomorrow, and we will see. I will write to you. I have to tell you some things about some special things, and I will do it tomorrow. I love you. I need you. I want you, and I miss you. Good night, baby. Good night. Love you with all of my heart. Good night.
All right. Thank you, Manuela. Now we're going to get to Leslie.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, happy Friday. And Sugar Pom Pom is not on the phone with me tonight. So, but anyways, I just want to say hello, and I appreciate everyone. And hello to TDCJ, everybody in the TDCJ. We're rooting for all of y'all. Be good. Be on your best behavior. The weather's cooling down now, so temper should, calm down a little bit. Anyways, I just want to say good night to my Sugar Pom Pom, and I love you, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Sugar Pom Pom.
Hey, Sugar Pom Pom.
I talked to Sugar Pom Pom earlier tonight, and
that's the love of my life.
There you go,
the
girl.
Love of my life.
I screamed it when we went to visit. When they brought him out. They were having a contact visit. I screamed across the thing, Sugar Pom Pom. He was like, "Oh my God."
I heard a sugar boom boom. I heard a sugar pom pom.
That's my love.
Already,
All right, girl. I will talk to you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
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 All right. Now, I guess since you have Mike pulled up, my favorite person.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show. Here's my shout-outs to guys at Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez, Lucy and Michelle. Want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Jovan, Matt, Thomas, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Oz. Shout-out for Haas. Shout-out for Keith Money. Tosca wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out for Aaron Vasquez. Shout-out for Curtis Robertson. Shout-out for Blaine Milam. Shout-out for Bill R. Sims. Shout-out for William Cart. Special shout-out for Clarence Lee Bowman. And I hope everybody enjoys the weekend, the Bayou Bucket game at TD ECU Stadium between the Rice Owls and the Houston Cougars. The winner of that game gets to keep the Bayou Bucket. And also enjoy the Texans versus Bears game at 7 p.m. at NRG Stadium. Go Texans and go Cougs. The Cougs game is at 7 p.m. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the weekend. Adios.
Adios, Mike. Adios. All right, now we're going to get to Patty. Hey, Patty.
Hey, everybody. This is shout out from Humberto Garza. Hey, mijo, like that. Mike said to the Houston Texans, your Theo Jr. is now a Houston Texan. Okay, he's not a Cowboy no more, so I'm gonna disown him. Anyway, Mito, I was in Houston last week for my birthday and Amanda's birthday. Thank you for my card. I really appreciate it. He had me go to Academy over there to find a Houston Texans shirt because the Academy down here, all they have is Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, we're doing good, mijito. Everything's just going along. When I got back, my air conditioning in the car messed up. So that's not good. Last week it was pretty good because it was raining. It was cool. But oh my God, this week is like really bad. But anyway, mijito, God is good. What can I tell you? We're all doing good, mijo. El hijo anda tomando the tree over here in the back behind the trailer. Your tío is doing good. Anthony is fairly. Alex gonna have a party for his little girl on Sunday, and tomorrow hopefully we'll watch the Canelo fight with Berlanga. I don't know who's gonna win, but anyway, I think it's bot, just like football is. But anyway, that's just me. I love you, mijo. Hello to all the guys, Jeff, Rudy, Juan. Just take care, guys. Smile. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. So, Clinton, can you
She hangs up so quick.
I know. You can't even say, have a good weekend. It's like, click. So, what else can you give us, Clinton?
I mean, like I said, there's not much. It's kind of like at a standstill right now because there's just. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's just, it's a 24-year-old case. It's been litigated. Yeah. So, I mean, I think to put it in perspective is that one of my lawyers said at a hearing a while back that if you spent 1 minute opening each file for 24 hours a day, it would take 8 months.
Oh, my God.
That's just 1 minute. Just opening and looking at what it is. If just one person, right, it would take 8 months. And so that's 20-something-year-old case. People pass away. Things get lost. There's been all kinds of litigation. And so the older a case is, the harder it is, to kind of sort through everything, right? And so that's, I wish I had the stability of something set in stone, but as of right now.
You're just winging it right now.
Yeah, it's just,
But you're working. You got a job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's about it. Yeah, as far as personal life goes, yeah, working, I got some stuff lined out. Like I said, I'm supposed to go to UT. I got permission to come down here. Going with my family to an event in Austin this weekend. Trying to do more and reach out to more people too, as far as the death penalty goes, etc. I actually have a friend of mine who is a devout Christian and a stout conservative. I'm talking about AFR, American Family Radio type conservative. Yeah. And they're really great people, man. They live down the road from me, and she was running for office, actually, and so that's how she ended up in my front yard with her husband, who's also a former highway patrolman from California. And we get to talking and stuff, etc. kind of funny because I had actually had an accident and I'd caught on fire, and so I walk out there with my
my
shirt
God.
off. Well, yeah, just don't play with matches. But but it was kind of funny because I walk out there and I see this lady and this guy walking in my yard, right? And my dogs are going crazy. I got XL bullies and et cetera, right? And so I walk out there with my shirt off. I got tattoos, et cetera. I got burn marks, and so probably was a sight to see. And so I walk out there. I'm like, "What's up?" I thought it was that certain religious group that used to knock on your door back in the day when I was a kid, And so,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I was just going to tell them, "Hey, look, I celebrate Christmas, man. Appreciate y'all stopping by, blah, blah." But she's like, "Hey, I'm running for office," and she wasn't phased at all. We struck up a conversation and we became, her and her husband. I mean, they're really great human beings, right? And in the process of that, she never really thought about the death penalty. It's just, the things that are part of the conservative platform comes up, tough on crime, et cetera. But she never actually sat down. I mean, she thought about it from a biblical stance. But she never had the personal experience of interacting with somebody that had been on death row.
Mm-hmm.
And so through getting to know each other, it's like, it's affected her opinion of it, and in turn, she started, talking to other people about it. Like, what do they think from a philosophical position, from a biblical stance, and just basically the application of it in our society, and is it truly beneficial? The time, resources, and money that we spend on that, right?
Financially.
Right. And so she has a real life experience now where she says, well, actually my neighbor was on Texas death row. And she gets a lot more positive feedback than, she anticipated, and certainly I anticipated. But it just goes to show that when we're able to educate people, to the flaws of the system and the death penalty, et cetera, right? They generally come around. Because that's the thing that's what it comes down to is a lot of people just don't know.
Absolutely. And I think the Robert Roberson case is bringing it up. Okay, now let's get to Patty real quick. Hey, Patty.
This shout out, I'm sorry, mijito, it's for Beto Garza at the Polinsky unit. Mijo, Jackie sent me the schedule for AJ regarding what we talked about, the football games. I did post it for everyone. Tomorrow he's going to play in La Jolla. So I will be out there at 8:30 in the morning. I just wanted to let you know, mijito. I love you. Good night.
Good night. All right, now let's get to Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Danny. Hello, everyone there. Happy Friday the 13th, right?
Ugh.
Hello to everyone out there who is listening. Of course, not only out here on the other side of the walls, but those of you behind the walls. This is Jason Wysong, and I am serve with the Christian Restorative Justice Mental Association. So I'll start with my shout-outs. First, I want to shout out, as always, to my brothers at the Walls unit, part of the mentor program there. Shout out to Juan Garza, Douglas Mills. Shout out to Roger Hernandez, Justin Lamb, and Marquez Crenshaw. Some of our newer brothers that are part of the mentor program there. Just want a special shout out to you guys and look forward to seeing you guys next week when we resume the program. Shout out to my brothers at the Ferguson trustee camp as well. See you guys next week as well. Look forward to it. And as always, shout out to my brothers at the Ellis unit and the Kairos reunion group. Love you guys and look forward to seeing you guys as well in a couple weeks. And last but certainly not least, shout out to my sister and one of my partner organizations to Irma Barbie, who was on the show earlier this evening. Just really big fan of the work that she does with the women. and helping them in their path and reentry, and just really excited about a lot of the stuff they're doing. And by the way, they are having a fundraiser coming up next week, actually next Friday, in Houston, and they're having a luncheon, and they're going to be sharing stories and having some speakers share about the impact that they've made. And so if you're interested in participating in that, tickets are $60, and you just go to wingstofreedom.net and to find out more about what they're doing. And for my mentor moment tonight, this is a little bit of a special edition mentor moment, because I'm taking this from the Reverend, the Bishop T.D. Jakes. And while T.D. Jakes is a Christian minister, I believe that his message will resonate with many of you, even if regardless of your faith. That's what I always strive to do with these mentor moments, is create encouragement and reminders, regardless of what your faith or your background is. And so basically, what I'm going to share with you is that oftentimes, as we've all experienced, there will be people that will come and go from your life. They'll walk away from you. And when people walk away from you, you have to just let them walk away. Don't try to talk another person into staying with you or loving you or calling you or caring about you or coming to see you or staying attached to you in any way. When people can walk away from you, you have to just let them walk. And the Bible verse that goes along with that is, they came out from us that it might be made manifest that they were not for us. For if they had been of us, no doubt they would have continued with us. And that's in 1 John 2:19. People will leave you because they're not joined to you. And if they're not joined to you, you can't make them stay. And your destiny is never tied to someone who walked away from you. And T.D. Jakes says that he has the gift of goodbye. He says it's a 10th spiritual gift. And it's not that he's hateful, he's faithful, and he believes that whatever is meant for you in your life will be in your life. And so he says, you just gotta let him go. So if you're holding on to something that doesn't belong to you, and it was never intended for you, then you need to let it go. And if you're holding on to your past hurts or your past pains, you have to let it go. And if someone can't treat you right or love you or see your worth, you have to let it go. And if someone has any anger against you, you have to let it go. If you're involved in a wrong relationship or an addiction, you have to let it go. Or if you have a bad attitude, you have to let it go. If you're stuck in the past, you have to let it go. If you're feeling depressed and stressed, you have to let it go. And let the past be the past and forget the former things. Again, back to the good book, Isaiah 43:18 says, forget the former things that do not dwell in the past. So as for me, I always say, never ask anyone to love you. You just think about it. The people that do love you truly in your life, your parents, maybe your children, your family members, you never have to ask them to love you. They just do. And those are the ones that count. So as you put your head to rest tonight, remember these things, keep your head up, and remember to just let it go. And that's my mentor moment. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to Gloria. Let's get to May. There we go. Hey, Gloria.
I want to make some shout-outs.
This is Gloria Rubeck.
It is Gloria Rubeck.
Not the Gloria Rubeck.
The Gloria.
Hey,
oh,
Gloria.
my God.
It's Clinton Young, Gloria.
The Clinton Young?
Oh, no, just regular old Clinton Young. I ain't got the D status yet.
Well, I just want you to know I'm still looking for the one good cop, but anyway.
Let me know when you find him,
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath. Okay. I actually wrote down some stuff since I never can remember anything. Anthony Pierce at the Ramsey unit. And to everybody, all of y'all that have been sending me e-messages, I've had 2 eye surgeries. I'm squinting right now trying to read my notes here. The surgeries went well, but it takes a while to, I guess, for everything, to get your eyes adjusted, whatever. Anyway, Yes, Anthony, tell your attorney that I will take all the files, and I did talk to your mom on her 94th birthday. Man, she is amazing. Anyway, since we'll have people coming from Austin for our event on October 19th, I could have them take them to UT, or if you want, I could go by the Texas Defender Service office here in Houston and see if they'd look at them. T, I got your emails, and I will be responding to you. Nanan Williams at the Ramsey Unit. I hope your August birthday was good, and I'm curious, these essays or messages you're sending me, are you like teaching a class, or what are you writing these for? I'm not. Anyway, Tyrone Williams at Polunsky. I'm having some attorneys look at your legal stuff so we can figure out where you can go from here. Jeff Wood at Polunsky. I will try to find the attorney you were talking about. That would be a cool thing to happen. And I did resubscribe to the Texas Parks and Wildlife magazine for you for your birthday. Big White, I sent you an e-message, so check your tablet, and you probably know that I'm not religious, so I'm not praying. I just hope that something good happens before October 1st. Spider, ¿cómo estás? Necesito la dirección de tu hija so I can mail her the Selena baseball cap. Thomas Millerell, I know you. Where are you? You got sent to Navasota, I think. Can they hear us in Navasota? They can't hear us in Navasota, can they?
Yes, they can.
Oh, well, hey. Okay, Thomas. Sorry I didn't get to visit you while you were at Polunsky, so we'll have to see about a trip to Navasota. Kenneth Foster. Give me a message about what you want us to do before your trial that's coming up. Terry Washington, I hope you got the card we sent you after our last meeting, and let's hope that federal judge does the right thing, because I read online that the way to remedy a Batson violations is a new trial, and that's what you need. Anthony Haynes, let me know if you want me to renew that cooking magazine for you. I got a message from them. And if you do, anyway, send me an e-message. Tony Ford, I understand that the DA's election in El Paso didn't go the right way, but anyway, let me know what's going on. And Eugene Broxton, just F that judge that ruled against you. I can't even believe it.
I know.
What BS. Just wanted to say hey to Rob Will. Hope you're doing okay. And Robert Robertson. Jesus, somebody needs to do something, and soon. This is just ridiculous. And with all the national publicity that your case is getting, Robert, something's got to give. Something's got to give.
Hey, Gloria, I'm sorry. We have another caller.
Okay. I just want to say one thing real quick. That was my last shout out. We usually meet on the first Tuesday in October because that's an execution. We're going to meet on the first Wednesday in October at Shape Center, 7 o'clock. That's it.
Thank you, Gloria.
Okay.
All right, Gloria,
take care,
care.
Clinton.
Yes, ma'am.
You too.
I think we have a caller.
This is to my husband, Sporty Black at Wainwright Unit. Hey, baby boy, how's the day been for you? This is kissing you our Friday night, tuck you in strength, letting you know all is well. The girls are behaving. It's been a crisp, like fall day. Yeah, you can tell the season is changing to your season. I'm doing good. As it's been a pace day on the machine, I got all the contact tees on. Then I tweaked the link tree. Let's speak on it with our whispers and in our e-note. I trust you haven't had to mess with no critters, yeah. It's, eek, yeah. Speaking of critters, I can't remember if I told you on the road Monday to the appointment I had to stop and let a baby grizzly make it cross the road. Yeah, it was gorgeous. Big and fat and hairy and gorgeous. Then I had to stop, for a doe and a fawn. Yeah, boo, it's been a pace day. I'm getting ready to work on either the AP or VP posts I've placed on the serious tees, as I said. And I got the link tree on the contag with WT Twitter. I didn't mess with Tippy today. Mom should be landing home late this evening with her son, so she can take over from here on out. I'm sure Tippy will be joyous to see her. Baby, it's that time. You know I'm out here, all yours, forever yours. Be safe and focused. Stay healthy and safe. I love you, Sporty. Mwah. Take care, boo. Mwah. Love you.
All right, Clinton, you got a shout out you want to give?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Creeper G, Zilla, T. Irvin. What's up, boy? Randy, I got your JPay. I'll be getting back with you, right? Waco, Trey, BD, Rudy, Country. Like I said, Big White. You know, I could go on and on and on, right? You know, y'all, it's easy to say y'all hold y'all's head up, et cetera, but I know, man, I know how old it gets, you know, hearing that line, right? Just keep fighting. You know, I mean, that's the only thing we can do in this situation, right? I said, I ain't forgot about y'all, man. Hopefully this situation of mine will wrap up and I can go do even more, right? Yeah, I guess I'll keep it short and simple. Since, is he waiting on a call? Or is that...
No, that's, he was pointing at me if I had a shout out.
Make sure she got her shout out, because otherwise all we got to do is...
No, I'll do
sum
mine
it up.
next week.
You'll do it next week?
I will.
Well...
I'll give double the shout out.
Clinton, we appreciate you coming in. It's been a good show, even if we did have a few technical difficulties.
With you.
Well,
yes, sir.
I had a Charlie horse right in the middle of everything. Had to get up and walk it out, man.
He was bouncing around in there. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
My legs were caught up underneath the chair. I didn't want to fall into the board and ruin the whole thing.
Hey, has anybody that got off of death row and commuted in modern times made parole besides Fierro? I think Fierro, Bobby Moore, Fierro.
Bobby Moore, yeah.
Well, Fierro should never have been convicted.
No.
But Bobby Moore did.
Yeah, Bobby Moore.
So is that judge going to let you come back sometime?
Oh, yes. I'm trying to make it down here for the execution watch, right? If it goes forward, right?
Yeah, let's hope it don't go forward.
Hopefully it don't.
Which
right?
one? Because there's.
Well, it'd be the one that. Yeah,
Garcia
I didn't want to add the name
it's
to
about
it,
that
right?
time.
Yeah, I like Big White.
We
man.
got Rico Black sitting out in the hallway. He's waiting to come on. So y'all stay tuned for the Houstonian. He's in the house. He's gonna be jamming tonight with some house music and some techno funk and all that good stuff. And in the meantime, we're gonna go out with Charlie and the Grets. So y'all have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care, man.
and Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you give a least. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. It's prison radio. From Paris to Polanski, bonjour, mi amor. In my dreams, I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. The men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio. And to all the laughers